What is resiliency?
Resiliency is the ability of individuals to overcome obstacles that can be positive on academic success as long as children have a good support system, motivation, and proper resources. It can be determined by many community factors such as school, peers, family individuals, home, and church. Resilient children are also known as keepers of the dream because they are more likely able to recover from misfortune or changes. Therefore, children who are less prone to negative behavior and then later encounter a negative situation can result in a worse outcome than a child who is surrounded by a negative atmosphere all the time.
What effects does school have on resiliency? Some educators believe resiliency can be created through our school setting, and that schools should offer emotional, academic, and social support. Schools should provide meaningful participation for students in which they can overcome obstacles, get motivated, and be part of an engaging learning environment. Educators' own personal philosophy towards resiliency also affects how they will respond to students' needs. Teachers who believed they had no effect on students' resiliency were less likely to offer extra support. Research also shows if educators focus attention on positive aspects of the situation or on coping strategies for children, then children are likely to have less negative emotions.
How does differentiated instruction play a part in resiliency? Differentiated instruction is the educational approach that calls for intentional and tactical planning to meet the needs of individual children by teaching to their needs, strengths, and interests. Children are more likely to thrive during adversity by individual attention or support from teachers. Some ways that we can create differentiated learning are by designing lessons based on students' learning styles, grouping students by shared interests or skills, creating a safe and supportive environment for each individual, adjusting the lessons to meet each individual needs. According to Dahl's finding, if support is given to a student in their everyday school routines, it can help them achieve more in school. Putting our students in problem-solving situations can also speed up their thinking process or create better resiliency.
What is the impact of resiliency on academic success and failure? Although the impact of resiliency on academic success and failure is different for every child, research has provided us with results that help educators understand the negative and positive effects resiliency has on children. Some of the negative effects of resiliency can be accumulation of stress that can become toxic to the child, meaning the high levels of stress can be harmful during the child and adolescent development, creating a negative effect on their mental health. Students who go through many struggles might fall into mental illness, like depression, and as a result, they are less likely to focus in school. When adversity and risk are extreme for children, their deleterious impact on students' development accumulates over time, and therefore a spillover effect happens and problems can worsen over time. With the spillover effect, the emotions of one person can affect the emotions and actions of others. Therefore, when a student has negative emotions, those who surround him or her might make the problems worse by acting negatively towards that person. This can create an unhealthy environment anywhere in the child's microsystem, such as their school or with their family. Some of the positive effects of good resiliency can be children practice their problem solving skills when going through personal events and eventually use these problem solving skills in their future to be successful. Because of this, they are more likely to overcome obstacles throughout their life. Resiliency does not only happen from personal problems, but for children, many aspects of resiliency happen in school due to change in having to pass exams. Although this can create a lot of stress to children and build their resiliency, students do not seem to struggle in future grades if they were showing a pattern of difficulties at a younger age. Research also shows that children can overcome disturbances and disadvantages which cause resiliency that were brief in duration or limited in scope. This means that children with good resiliency skills see problems or difficulties as something they can overcome. Children with good resiliency skills are able to recover quickly from difficulties. Students should be able to see problems as something they can overcome, and this is only done by creating good resiliency in our students. Many educators believe that resiliency fosters in school. As educators, it is important that we know about resiliency and that we keep in mind ways that we can promote good resiliency in our students. There's many ways that we can help our students, but the main way that we can do this is through differentiated instruction. We must see our students as different individuals. Each student has their own personal problems, and as their teacher, we must be aware when a student is going through any difficulty either at home or at school. Each student learns differently and has different needs, so we must develop our instruction to meet every child's needs. Schools should motivate students and be a support system for the child. We can also work with our students by creating problem solving scenarios, which can build their resiliency skills. A child's resiliency affects them throughout their lifetime,